are stories that connect us to ourselves and each other. These stories reveal who we are and show us the many vivid, wild colors of our truth. Welcome to Soul Wanderings, where we raise spiritual awareness and foster connections through these shared stories and personal experiences. And now, exclusively on KGRA Radio, I give you your host for Soul Wanderings Radio. Here's AJ.
Yes, here's AJ. Here I am in all my glory. And I am delighted, so happy to be here. It's really cool being back to Soul Wander with all of you. Second week back, and they say it's like riding a bike, and I think they're pretty accurate about that because I feel right at home here with all of you. Welcome to Soul Wanderings. Tonight we have a really amazing guest. All of you should know her by now, and if you don't, it's because you're new to Soul Wanderings, because our guest tonight is no stranger to wandering. In fact, let's just bring you on. Let's just bring you on right now. Look, it's Natalie Peace. For those of you who didn't see the little show post of who we have tonight, it's Natalie Peace. She is one of the most amazing human beings I've ever known. In fact, I was thinking about you this morning and I got a little teary because I have infinite gratitude for you. And I'm in a line of a lot of other people who are in those same shoes. Like, you are surrounded and loved and adored. You're magical.
It was really fascinating.
Every single person loves you. And I always say every time you come here, there's not one person I've ever come across that has been like, oh, Natalie, I don't like Natalie, or I don't care for Natalie, or anything negative. It's always, Natalie, oh, I love that woman. She's helped me do this. She has saved me from that. She's just all of these beautiful adjectives that are shared, and I'm not surprised whatsoever.
Well, I don't know how that just like occurred. Like, it was not one of the things that I planned. How to make everyone love me. No, that was not a life plan of mine,
but they do.
I'm happy that it's been like that.
Yeah, it is like that. Oh, it's so good. So just to give you a quick little introduction, we'll use some of your wording because I hear you say it all the time.
You did so well on the write-up. Thank you so much for being my PR agent.
I have time. Let's make that happen. If anyone wants Natalie to speak at big, large events or small corporate events or any kind of events, let me help you. Let me hook you up because you would benefit from it very much. So Natalie's a master resilience trainer. I love that.
It's for sure.
And we all call you the human wilderness guide because Natalie has this amazing ability, how she puts it, to meet you in your wilderness, because we're all going through our own human experiences. And the beautiful thing is, you don't try to pull us out of it. Instead, you meet us where we're at, and you kind of hold our hand at time, kind of stand a few feet away at times. You do whatever needs to be done to empower us to do our own healing and give us tools and tips and tricks along the way to help us navigate our way onto a path that is meant for us. And I love that you call yourself a human wilderness guide because it's completely accurate. It's an accurate description of who you are. You have a lot of modalities that you use.
I have a few. I've learned a thing or two along the way.
Yeah. A lot of our guests, I believe the first time they ever met you, or maybe the second. I mean, I've been soul wandering for 5 years now, but you've been with me along the journey the whole time, almost the whole time. And you got referred to as the numbers lady because we did an episode on numerology and everyone ate it up. And so you were the numbers lady. So you do numerology. That is something that you can do, and that helps you with personalities with your clients, but also human design, which is a huge thing that you're really into right now.
So excited about the
and
design.
You were into that last year when you were on the show in July. I think it was in July, if I remember correctly. And you dabble a little in astrology and a little bit in psychology, a little bit in spirituality, just all of these different places so that you can help us understand ourselves better.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so beautiful. Okay. So in your words, how would you describe what you do?
Well, you did very well
Thank
describing
you.
what I do.
I got a little giddy,
Yeah.
so you can probably do a lot better than I.
I don't know about that, but so one of the things I learned about me many, many years ago, that I was really good at connecting to the individual. That was part of there's a the Strength Finders, which was it was a book that was put out, and it had 34 strengths, and it ranks. It was all focused on strengths versus weaknesses. And one of my top 5 strengths was individualization and connectedness. So it's like utilizing my strengths. That was a couple of things that I learned about myself, and then just kind of like leverage that. So to me, it's important, if I'm interacting with someone as a client or in one of my groups that I'm working, or a class, that I like to connect with them on the individual level. And especially when I'm working with my clients, it's good for me to know who and how they operate. So then it's all about aligning that person within themselves, because I might have an hour with them, like once a week or every 2 weeks. That's just a little sliver of the life that they're leading in their body. So it's important to teach people how to be in their own alignment. And so often we live in resistance to our natural way of being.
Mm-hmm. And we are good at being resistant, aren't we? As humans.
Oh, yes.
We get so caught in our own way. It's so stuck in that space.
Well,
we're uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough.
Well, sometimes it's about not even knowing what to shift, and the conditioning that's brought on by parents and society and church organizations and political leadings, and all of that conditions us to be a particular way. And the more that I've dived into, using numerology, psychology, and the human design, I can more deeply understand that we're so conditioned so often away from our natural flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a lot of homogenization. So the society likes sameness in some ways and individualization in other ways. So it's very interesting how the conditioning doesn't necessarily push us in just one direction. It pushes us all over the place.
Right.
No wonder it's a wilderness.
No wonder. And it truly is. You also are a grief and life coach.
Yes.
So that's your main, I was going to say main gig. It's not really a
that's
gig,
what I say.
But you are surrounded in grief.
Yes.
That's your specialty.
That's my specialty.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, grief. There's definitely a lot. It's just like my heart just goes out to people that are in grief. So I do regular grief groups. So I'm regularly meeting with people in a group environment. One of the things I've definitely learned over all the years of doing grief, there is a profoundness about bringing humans together, sitting them around in a circle, and everybody listens to each other's stories, hearing, and it's just healing just to have someone sit. My groups go for a couple hours, and just to listen to everybody talk about a little piece of their story. And then they get healing because they see a room full of people that are also grieving. And so they feel less lonely, even for a moment. And then I teach about leaning in. Most people, when grief comes, a wave of grief crashes over you. Most people are like, oh my gosh, let me out. Where's the exit? Where's the exit? And I teach all about leaning in. Don't look for the exit strategy, because the only reason why you have those profound waves of emotion is you're human. You're the one that drew the short straw and are still alive, and you didn't get to die. You love someone so deeply that it hurts like that. And so I also speak about it as honoring that grief, like be in honor of that. And that in one way shifts, or multiple ways, literally shifts the relationships that you have to your feelings. So there's that universal wisdom that says universal wisdom says quite a few things, but what we resist persists. And so it's one of those things about, or to take the path of least resistance. And so that means often you have to pay attention to what you're resisting. So grief is one of those things that will come like a visitor to the door, bang on the door. And if you don't let it in, then it'll keep banging on it and make its way in. And then it like has its way with you and then leaves, because emotions do that. They come in unbidden, and then we have like a experience with the unemotional experience, and then they go. So it's the nature of emotions, always come and go, come and go. There's no emotion that stays forever. Right. So if you learn how to do that, it makes the experience different and not as much of a suffering experience. That's a little bit about it.
A little bit. Yeah. I'm listening to you and also trying to feel my way through words that can even articulate the work that you do on that level, because it's huge. And even saying that is not substantial enough. We all go through grief, and it all looks different for each one of us. And yet you're able to show up for literally hundreds of people in their mess and help them through that.
If they show up for themselves.
Well, yes, of course.
But yes, thank you.
It's beautiful.
I think it was what I was born to do. One of the things I was born to do.
Yeah. Well, that's apparent. It is in your essence. Not that you are grief, although you have been through your fair share.
Yes.
You have a non-traditional way of navigating through it. It's amazing, because it's not like other ways. And I feel like that's why you probably see so much success with your clients, for them to be able to shift through those emotions probably faster than most.
Well, I look at it as a functional thing versus a dysfunctional thing.
Right.
So I will say, if everyone that loves someone, and we'll just deal with right now in this moment talking about it, because grief is about loss. And it's not always about a person dying, but it's about a loss, a significant loss. So everyone that loves something, and then that thing is gone, or someone dies, grieves. Our human bodies are wired for a grief experience. And so if everyone that loves someone, then they have these waves of grief, then it must be functional, right? It's a logical argument that said it's a functional thing. So it's gotten mixed up with a lot of the mental health movement. And so it can often be looked at as depressed. I can have someone that's 3 months in to a spouse dying, or a child, and even an adult child dying, and they'll be like, I'm depressed. And I said, no, you're not. If you've had a loss in the last 2-3 years, you're not depressed, you're grieving. And if you're grieving, that's an action-oriented experience. It means that I would recommend people to actively participate with the grief. It's like an action, like actively participate with it.
Right. And that's how you're different.
I like being different. Radical.
You're definitely radical.
Here to overthrow it.
Yep. Your last name is not Peace for nothing.
That's right. It's no accident.
No accident whatsoever. Tonight, however, though, we are not going to be talking about grief so much. Probably in and out because it is relevant to the conversation, I would assume, in some ways.
Yeah, the times.
On some levels. Tonight, our topic of conversation will be higher consciousness. Natalie chose the topic this time. We've talked about all sorts of things on our wanderings together.
Yeah.
And this one is the one that called to you.
And
Why is that?
I was going to say, even in that, I think I'm a little bit of a radical because I'm all about the practical application, which means I'm very much about the human experience that gets you the higher consciousness. So there's a lot of teachers and gurus and actually experience higher consciousness through, there could be mind altering drugs or ceremonies or those types of things. And I'm very much about doing it in the everyday walk of life. And so I say it matters how you walk it. And so it's studying it and reading spiritual teachings and philosophy or even religious text, and then actively employing it in your everyday life. And when you do that, it's almost like you unlock a bunch of doors that way.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, so that's what that little piece of wisdom means.
It is like that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
So you have to
it's like
drop
that hallway of all these doors, and you're like, which one am I going to choose this week?
Right? Yeah. And when it's applied, then all of those things. So it's the practical application, and makes all the difference.
Do you know my way to higher consciousness?
No, tell me all about your way to higher consciousness.
Crystals.
Even with crystals, practical application. Right.
Okay, you can't see them. I'm holding them up to my microphone so you can hear them.
Show them in the camera.
More to come soon. More to come soon.
Well, so even in the crystals, the practical application would be, so if you take a crystal and for a week so I study the rock's properties or the crystal's properties, and I want to be selective in the ones that I'm employing for what I need in the moment or for this period of time in my life. So if I'm really going to practice practical application of that kind of higher consciousness, then I'm going to do it very much on purpose.
Yes, very intentional.
Not just like, I've got 100 crystals and I'm just going to put them around my room and everything's going to just make itself proper. And it's like, well, first of all, you're going to have a whole bunch of vibration, and then you got to plow through the bubbly up swampy stuff that the crystals bring up and out of you that says, why don't you let go of that and let go of that? And then you have to notice that sometimes you get worse before you get better.
Yeah. It
you
is
experience
like that. Yeah, exactly. I love that you're so human in the way that you do things. You're very practical, yet you play with crystals also.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean, what are you wearing today?
So this one is an amethyst.
I can't see that far away.
So it's an amethyst that's wrapped with copper and the tree of life.
Well, perfect, because I have amethyst in here. It is a higher consciousness stone.
Look, and I even have gray and purple, so it dressed like an amethyst.
You always match that way. You match
it's all
your
intuitive living.
My necklace today is an agate slice, and it doesn't really match, but it felt like the right one.
So how long did it take you so tell me about your relationship and how long it took you, or what kind of the path you went along with your relationship with stones and how you choose them on the everyday basis, because I know you do that.
Yeah, I always have stones on me.
Right.
You may not always see them. They're
right.
Stuffed in my bra or my pocket or something. I've always had a relationship with stones. My sweet little dad, he always had a relationship with stones. So they were in my awareness always. And of course, when I was younger, I didn't have an understanding of them. It wasn't until I always felt something with them, right? But you're just like, oh, that feels like this and that's cool. But you don't understand until you like really go through some things, I believe, at least for me. And as I went through some things in my adult life, I just sought out different ways to feel better and had opened up a box that had a bunch of my old crystals in it that I had collected when I was a kid. And something just clicked. And I couldn't let them go. Like I got them out of the box and I had them all the time. And then I just wanted more and I wanted more. And now I have an obsession probably. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. My son's inheritance.
Would be this good.
When I pass, he is getting crystals. So the way that I choose them always is intuitively, you know. I just feel my way through each room because they're in every room and just decide which one was meant to go or which ones are meant to go with me today. And anytime I have something specific that I'm working through, an emotion or an experience, there's always a crystal for it. So because I've established a relationship with my crystals and with crystals in general, I just know which ones to go to that way. But it's a feeling more than anything.
So, and I would say it's actually something that you've practiced
Every day.
Right. So it's not like this just happened. So we will often, like if we're in your shop, people come in and you're like, what's this good for? And you can see people that are just beginning and it can feel overwhelming. How will I ever learn all of these characteristics?
Right.
But the path is always long.
Yeah.
Life is long. There's no race to the finish. It's the journey really is the destination. So if you wherever you are in your life, it's just starting then and you just practice. There's can't be understated about the power of an everyday practice. And if you want to, you have to kind of go deep into a knowledge.
Right. And you know, I've taken 3 different crystal healing courses.
Okay.
Which helped a lot. It really catapulted me into not just the vibration and energy of the stone, but the science behind it and what it does for you emotionally, mentally, physically. And it wasn't just a quick course. One of them was a total waste of time, but the other 2 were definitely worth my money and then some, and they were months long. And so having that education, if you will, really catapulted me. But it was when I started working with the crystals with clients. So when I was actually participating in the crystal healing, that things started to click for me. And when I started having experiences because of the stones, or they were sharing their experiences because of them, where I knew, and it wasn't just like a book education, it was an experience education, that there was something more to it. It wasn't just, oh, I'm drawn to this crystal because, or I need this crystal because, but the experiences were there that proved to me just how magnificent and healing they truly are. And I love them. And I think we should give away some tonight, which we'll do.
That's fun.
Right? So yes, everybody stay close because I don't only have 1 or 2, I have 3. And I'll go over everything that's in them and how you can win them for yourself. All of the stones are for higher consciousness, just to, you know, they're here partnering up with you tonight in your conversation with me on Soul Wanderings. So all of you who are here with us now, I hope you stay close because the break is very short. And when we get back, we'll continue our wandering with our beautiful guest, Natalie Peace.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Welcome to the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. Here you'll find great new content, including the KGRA Classics, great shows from our archives. You'll be able to see the show times and information so you can see what show is currently on air. The on-air live button. So just go to this section and you'll be able to hear the show live with exceptional sound quality. We also have the Vault section. Make sure to subscribe to get access to great content and special features. We have the make content for our latest news and events, so make sure to sign up and you can be part of our forum. So make sure to check out the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. We look forward to seeing you there, and we hope that you enjoy the new website.
Hello, my beautiful wanderers. Welcome back. I am AJ, your host, and we are hanging out with Natalie Peace. Natalie Peace.
Peace. So it's
She's
so
one
fun
of
to
my
have that name.
ultimate favorite humans in my whole entire life.
Same.
Seriously, Natalie. I'm not just saying it. I love you so hard. You are just one of the most magnificent human beings that I know. And it's no surprise. I shared a post on social like I do with my guests that are coming on. This is who's going to be on the show this week. And without fail, every single time I post that you're going to be on the show, we have a long list of people commenting about how much they love you, all the likes, all the shares. You're definitely seen in the community as someone who is like, here we go again, all the adjectives. We don't have that long. You're a lot of, honestly, you're a lot of things. I'm just going to stoke your ego a little bit.
It's like, so it's funny in my studying my own personal design, and there was a part in there. So the human design brings in the I Ching, which is a ancient Chinese book called the Book of Changes. And there was this little piece, and it's a book of wisdom as well. And so this little piece says to me that one of the influences in my chart is the preponderance of the small. So I work on a small level in a big way.
Oh,
And it was like really profound, but it also reminded me
it's so accurate.
to keep my ego in check.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it's like, be loved, and yet don't take that to be just like, okay, you're still supposed to work on a
right.
big level in those small ways. And so
Mhm.
maybe some people would feel differently about it, but it's profound to be able to, one thing that is really profound is to be able to meet people that I do that's in the grief arena, or my clients, and watch them grow and bloom, or in the we've talked on the show before, the class that I do, Get Real, that's really like a very consciousness engagement thing. And I'm that practical side, and then my mystical partner, and being in that and owning what the energy I bring to it. But it is so profound to like get consciousness in your everyday walk of life. It's so aligning. So if you guys out there that you feel not in alignment, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to stay that way. There's ways to gain alignment, but you have to be adept at keeping yourself in alignment. You have to raise your own awareness to understand what it is that you're doing on a regular basis that knocks you off out of alignment, what beliefs you have, all those things. That's big part of the cleanup work.
Yeah, the cleanup work.
The cleanup work.
That
I call
brings
it the
you to-
swamp work.
Yeah, it brings you to that higher consciousness.
That's right.
You know, opening vibes. And for those of you who aren't familiar, I own and run a shop during the day called Vibes Mind, Body, Spirit. And you can check out that website. It's vibesnow.com. Anyway, during the day, I get to be around you and other amazing human beings and all the crystals and all the things. And, you know, when I first opened the shop, I did it because it was my calling. I knew I was meant to be a space holder because of some experiences I had, which we don't need to get into now. I just knew. And I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't all the way aware or awake myself. I still am not, right? We're always actively working on that. But I'm a lot further now than I was then. Then I was like, oh, this will be great. You know, this is my calling. This is going to be so much fun.
Easy and fun. And
you know, that hallway we were talking about and all the doors? Well, I didn't just open one. I decided to open like 5 or 6 at a time.
At the same time.
And then I met Natalie and she's like, why are you drowning yourself in a fire hose? Because I thought it would be fun. Well, opening a business is, I guess it can be fun, and there have been moments of fun, but the most amazing thing that it has been rewarding. Like there are days that I literally can hardly walk to my car because they are so long. And there are days where I have cried so much for other people that I didn't think I could cry another tear. And there have been days where I've laughed so hard, I've had like my stomach muscles hurt the next day, right?
Right.
Because we're constantly working in these deep emotions with people who come in.
Mm-hmm.
Some just come in and want a crystal and a candle and they're on their merry little way.
Right.
But we have some people who literally walk in and say, I don't know why I'm here. I've never been here. I'm just drawn to come here. And next thing you know, they're like having a come apart in the middle of the lobby, and we're able to be there to support them through that, which is so amazing. But the point of my story, what I'm sharing, is that in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I knew, like I had an inkling, right? But over the past almost 6 years of having this business, the amount of growth that has occurred by being around people that are like this, specifically you, have changed everything. The way I look at things, the way that I choose to react if I do, or choose not to react. The way that I look at grief is even different. The way that I handle my emotions is different. Not only do you show up in ways to help clients in their mess, as you say, you also lead by example. Like you don't even have to say anything. It's the way that you hold yourself. It's the way that you hold space for others. It's the way that you show up just randomly at the perfect time.
It's just trust.
Right. It's just beautiful. It literally is so beautiful. Like you can't make it up.
Can't make this up.
But part of this journey for me, and I can only speak for myself, and that's why I am sharing my experience, is that it doesn't matter where you're at.
Mm-mm.
nothing is permanent.
Right.
You'll always be able to navigate your way through it if you choose to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And
Even if you don't, it doesn't stay static. It's not a
right,
static
nothing
thing.
is
Mm-mm.
permanent. Nothing is permanent. And that's the thing, when we're right in the thick middle of it, we just think no one else knows how we feel. We'll never get out of this. There's no way out. We don't understand, like, there's so much more. And having learned the tools that I've learned from you through human design or even numerology or just conversation, I've had so many aha moments and have been able to shift my perspective in the way that I look at the experience. And nothing has been too hard.
Right.
Nothing's hard for me anymore. I'm not saying things aren't challenging, but it's not impossible anymore. And I never feel like at the pits of despair. I get sad, I get angry. I still have those lower vibrational emotions because I am human,
Mhm.
but I know how to get out of them a lot easier than I ever did before because of the examples that you've given. And your clients. Your clients too. Your clients come in and teach me stuff all the time.
Huge range of clients. Sometimes when I think about the clients that I have, I'm like, wow, it's just a really big range.
They're all over the place. They all are over the place.
They're all human.
Yeah, it's just really neat being a space holder, being in a space where you're at, and like Mandy and Julie, just all of these beautiful teachers who are there to assist others. Like, that's their life's purpose, and we're all in it together. And it's just, it's powerful, but not in an egotistical way. It's powerful as in we're moving some mountains together because we don't let people move them alone.
Well, no, and it's like when we heal and they heal, or when others heal, we heal.
Yeah.
So it's an
like
enrichment of our community. And that's the part I don't like. I'm so grateful that you have the space that I can come and do that work. And I don't have to worry about any of the space holding thing. I just get to hold the space when I'm there in the space. And it's just been, it's been so,
I'm
it's
just
been
happy
so
to
much
have
fun.
you there. My heart is full.
And I'm delighted. It's so good.
We're going to talk about higher consciousness, and I'm going to let Natalie have the mic.
We have already been talking about it. If you're not catching it, higher consciousness isn't always sparkly. Sometimes it's actually the little things that are said as things are being said. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Yes. She's right. So, I thought it would be appropriate to do a giveaway tonight. I just dropped a baby.
Oh
no. Because a lot of my listeners are drawn to crystals and want to know more about them. So I get emails often about, AJ, I'm going through this. What's a good crystal for that? So tonight I chose 5 of my favorite stones for higher consciousness. And I'll have
drum roll.
I'll have my beautiful producer Chanel pull up the photo of what I'm holding in my hand so y'all can see. I have 3 bags here of 5 crystals. I've infused them with Reiki and lots of love. These are from my own personal collection. And I'm going to be giving away 3 sets tonight. Chanel, you can just hold that up for a minute. So the first one on the left, the dark blue one, is lapis lazuli. And the lapis is a really awesome stone. They actually call it the king's jewel because they used to wear it in crowns and rings and royalty because it was so protective and prosperous. But it's also a really good one for stimulating your dreams, like really enhancing your dreams and enlightenment, which I mean, higher conscious. It also helps you to access your personal power. Gotta love that. And if you want to make any changes to your life, that's a really good accelerator, that one there on the left.
I used to wear that to help me with headaches too.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one for headaches. The next one next to it is actually clear quartz. It kind of looks like a milky quartz there. on the photo, but it's a clear quartz. And I love clear quartz. It's totally underestimated. It's one of the most powerful stones. And a lot of people pass it by because they're like, it's just a clear quartz. But this one transmits, and directs energy. And it's also an amplifier. So if you put it next to any of your other stones, it's going to amplify that energy. And not only that, it will amplify your energy around you, in and around you. So it's really good for you to be intentional when you're using clear quartz, because if you're feeling low, it's going to amplify that energy. If you're feeling medium-ish, it will amplify your energy to feel a little more higher vibrational. And if you're already high, it's just really going to accelerate that. The next one is the blue kyanite. And blue kyanite,
I love blue kyanite.
oh, it's so good. Blue kyanite is an amazing crown chakra stone. So I like to use it for meditation. Like if I'm laying on my back, I'll put the blue kyanite on my third eye. It's a really powerful transmitter and amplifier of higher energies. So, and I'm sure if you've played with blue kyanite, you can feel that. Like my hand's throbbing right now from the energy and all of these. It's also really good for your psychic abilities and intuition. So if that's something you're working on developing, kyanite, this blue kyanite is a really good one to keep your hands on. Plus, the blue kyanite never needs cleansing like a lot of the other stones, because it never holds on to any negativity.
I'm about those stones. I like that.
Yeah. So
low maintenance stones for me.
Exactly. This one also helps you work through your fears and blockages, and helps you speak your truth, because it also is a good throat chakra stone.
Yeah, I have this blue kyanite pendant that I will wear sometimes, and it's just nice right there at the throat.
And then the next one is amethyst, another, and Chanel, if you want, you can take the picture off. I'm sure people are done looking at them. But the next one is amethyst, and that's another one that's totally underestimated. Everyone's like, oh, I know what an amethyst is. No big deal. But amethyst is also called the sobriety stone. So if you're ever working through any kind of addictions, amethyst is a really great stone that helps you work through those blockages that you're having when it comes in regards to like habits and addictions.
They
It's
say the
also
tears of Bacchus, or the one that's like around wine because it's a purple stone, and there's all kinds of stories with stones like that.
Yeah, I know there is too, isn't there? It's so neat. The other thing I love about amethyst is it connects to all of your higher states of consciousness.
Mm.
So you know, like peace and clarity. It helps you with your thoughts. It also helps you if you're desiring an out-of-body experience. Some people are into that. Amethyst is a really good one. And it also helps you connect to your psychic gifts. And then the last one that's in the bag is a labradorite. And this one is actually called the magic stone.
Well, you have a loaded package there for
Can
people.
you see why my hand is like
Yes.
literally vibrating right now?
Look at you go.
Whoops, I just dropped it. But the labradorite is very protective, and it raises consciousness, and it aligns you to not just your spiritual body, but your physical body, your etheric body, and your spiritual energy. So it connects all of those, which if you're working on raising your vibration and your consciousness, that's one that's really good. And it's also good for your third eye. So if you're working on opening your third eye and developing that ability, labradorite's a go-to. Who wants to win one of these bags?
Pick me.
Natalie's smiling. She's like,
I'm like, what do
I
I do?
So, like I said, I've infused all of these with Reiki energy healing, and they're from my own personal collection. I've loved these babies. I've meditated with these babies. They're all smudged and cleared, and I'd be happy to mail them out to 3 different winners. So if you want to know how to do that, I'll tell you just before the break. And then in the second hour, I'll tell you who the winners are. What's your favorite stone out of all of these ones that I shared?
Favorite. Probably. So it's really hard to pick favorite because stones have attributes. So they're in some ways stones are tools, but oh yeah. I just have to go right off the top of the head. And the kyanite. I have a few different pieces of the kyanite, and the kyanite, like when it's in its raw form, it's kind of stringy. So it's almost like sweeping energy because it looks a little bit broom-like. And so, and I have this beautiful pendant that I got. I always have this tradition where I come and buy myself a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
For Christmas, and that was one of them that I bought one Christmas for myself. And so
I am open at Vibes every Christmas Eve, and every Christmas Eve Natalie Peace visits me.
I just come up and see you, and it's just fun.
It's the best. I love it, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to it. And I get to see you all the time, but a special visit on Christmas Eve?
It's just like that, huh? Well, yeah, that's been nice being able to see you much more often.
Yes, I like it. I like it a lot.
It's a benefit in my life. It's a boon.
Do you have any experiences with the blue kyanite when it comes to your practice and working with it?
So to answer that, it's interesting. So I go back lots of years in my life when things were not so aligned. Like this way I am right now has because a lot of work, a lot of practice, a lot of cleanup, a lot of life experiences that weren't always pleasant. And so I used to just be much more easily overwhelmed, and I was in the learning process. So I can picture this one piece of blue kyanite that I picked up, I don't even know how many years ago. And I would just have rocks around. In fact, I used to work at the local Air Force Base here in Utah, and at a few different jobs, but I always would have these rocks even around. When I was a kid, we would rock hound to some extent, but I was like picking up random rocks. But so in the one job where I was doing, and it was like peer-to-peer support, I would have these different rocks on my desk. And then when people would come in, and it was the type of job that I do similar now, people would come in and be talking about their human stuff, which kind of always happened. But in this particular job, they'd pick up the stones, or I'd have the stones around. And I did a lot more. It was when I was just studying it more. And so I remember having this one piece of blue kyanite that is in its raw form. I do have an affinity for the raw forms too. It's beautiful to see that nature has provided for these, just such variety.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm in awe often.
I don't know why I have the story coming into my mind, but pyrite is a very fascinating stone to me because of the shape it grows in. And when I saw raw pyrite that grew in cubes, I'm like, for real? It grows like cubes.
That's like fluorite too. Have you seen fluorite?
Not in its rawest raw form.
Well, we just sold one out of the case today, actually purple fluorite, but it grew in cubes all over.
It's just like
the one. Yeah,
it's
unbelievable.
Blows my mind. So it's lovely. All the different things. But I do remember working with amethyst as the sobriety stone. And that was how I first was really introduced to amethyst, was that helping people work through addiction with that stone.
Yeah.
And there's so many layers to addiction. So addiction just isn't about stopping a substance. It is ultimately a path of self-love. And so there's something that's like to truly, or connection with the thing that's bigger than you. So a lot of this is like really tuning in and loving yourself. I think that's like one of the ultimate enlightenments, is learning that you're born to be how you are and the place that you have in this universe. And it's significant, but you're just one aspect of the entire universe.
Yeah. I've never heard of it being a self-love thing. It's such a neat way to look at it, because ultimately that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense that it would be that way.
Well, if you think a lot of things, addiction is taking you out of the now and out of relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
especially
that's
when
why.
it's substance abuse, is you just almost can't stand yourself in some way. And to really come to a truest sobriety, it is about the ability to be with yourself and have it be okay. And so it is really deeply a self-love thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, for those people struggling out there,
Yeah.
you're worth it.
So worth it. So worth it. We have this really neat opportunity to have our shop next to the homeless shelter. And so we have some I like to consider them very special human beings that come and visit us at the shop. And the way that they view the world around them through their addiction or their mental health or whatever that looks like. Such
Yeah.
teachers. But I'm often giving them stones. Like,
Oh.
here, put this in your pocket.
You sure are like generous like that. It's a little thing that you
They're
can
not
do.
ours to keep, you know? They're not ours. These are Mother Earth, Gaia's beautiful babies. They're only on loan to us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kind of like this body, but you know.
Exactly. Exactly like our body.
It's a loner. I come into this material space in this dimension, this world, this planet that is about form, bringing things into form. And spirit comes here to play on the material plane. So density is an aspect of living here on this planet Earth. And so there are a lot of dense emotions that we go through naturally. And so a lot of times people want to go, but I want to fly to the ethers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that isn't all that answer in and of itself, like flying to the ethers, but then you come back to this body and the density of it. And so there's some things in the practical application of consciousness where you're learning to transmute the struggle of being human into wisdom. And what does that look like? So a lot of letting go. Let go or be dragged. I love that. My Zenade calendar that gives me little pieces of wisdom. And one of my favorite
I've
is
seen that one before because Mandy gave us the calendars this year.
yes.
They're so good.
Let go or be dragged. I love the one that was over this weekend that said, when the resistance is gone, so are the demons.
I think I tore that one out and put it by my Buddha.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
That is
powerful.
by lovely Pema Chodron. She is a Buddhist nun. So of course that's appropriate to put it by your Buddha.
Just a feeling.
Just a feeling. It's so sage pieces of wisdom. And sometimes they're the things that strike us and we want to like argue against, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's all part of this play in this particular dimension. It's an interesting dimension to be in.
Yes.
Because it is about expansion. But you can't have any sort of learning without a resistance. So back to the homeless, there's such a contrast. It's a polarity to when you have a home and you have the proverbial, you're the American dream and you're doing what you should be doing and following that way. And then you interact with people who don't have that.
Yeah.
Quite the contrast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they'll pick up, I shouldn't say they as in a group or whole, but there's one gentleman in particular who picks up little tiny sticks and like little street pebbles, and he'll come and trade me that for a crystal.
Oh, so
like that's
it's like barter.
Yeah.
In his way.
Yeah. And I say yeah a lot. Yeah. Yes. yes. I just look at their points of view are just so different than what I'm accustomed to. And I learn so much and they teach me so much, but so has addiction, my own and others, it the way that it dances around in each of our worlds, we can all learn something from those experiences, whether they're ours or someone else's. And it's just all beautiful the way that it is.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're at the top of the hour break, which means I'm going to hurry quickly tell you how you can win one of these beautiful bags of higher consciousness crystals. They're not just used for higher consciousness. I shared many ways that they can assist you. And if you're not into crystals and just think they'd be cool in your space, well, you can try that too. So head over to soulwanderings.com. That's my website, soulwanderings.com. And once you get there, you're going to go down to About the Host. That's me, AJ. And right under my little bio, there are some social media links. There is a Twitter one on there. I don't use Twitter, but it's there. We could be on Facebook, but let's try Instagram tonight. If you guys are on Instagram, go over and give it a like. The Soul Wanderings page, give it a like. I really am working on raising awareness to the show so that we can help assist other people in all of the many ways. And I do that by you guys sharing. So go ahead and like the Instagram page. If you already have liked the Instagram page, that's okay, because the next step is not just liking it, but there is the last post that has a picture of Natalie Peace. Go and comment on that post, and then you're going to want to email me at connect@soulwanderings.com. That way I know it was done, and the first 3 people who do that will win a crystal bag. You have to be okay with me having your address, because there's no other way I'll get these to you unless you're local and can meet me at Vibes. But that's how you guys will win. And do it now during the commercial break, because I will announce the 3 winners in the second half of the show. And the second half is all Natalie. We're just let you just talk your way through the show.
Wow.
I'll only interrupt a little bit. All right, everyone, stay close. Second break, or second hour of the show, we're going to be continuing our wandering with our special guest, Natalie Peace.
Hey members, the new KGRA-DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA-DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA-DB.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Welcome to the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. Here you'll find great new content, including the KGRA Classics, great shows from our archives. You'll be able to see the show times and information so you can see what show is currently on air. The on-air live button, so just go to this section and you'll be able to hear the show live with exceptional sound quality. We also have the Vault section. Make sure to subscribe to get access to great content and special features. We have the make content for our latest news and events, so make sure to sign up and you can be part of our forum. So make sure to check out the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. We look forward to seeing you there, and we hope that you enjoy the new website.
Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back. I am AJ, your host, and this is Soul Wanderings, heard here on KGRADB.com. We're also hanging out on KGRA Digital Broadcasting, Facebook, and YouTube pages. So I hope you're joining us on one of those platforms. There's chat rooms, and I'm visiting all of them. I see you. I see you in the chat rooms. Thank you to you all for participating tonight. It's fun to watch the conversations that occur in the background. So,
Amazes me that you can keep track of all of those things.
Me too.
It's like you've got a knack for that.
I am having some questions about the contest. And thank you for saying I have a knack for that. I did admin most of my life. I can multitask like no other.
Super impressive to me. I'm like, you go, girl.
I know I can barely balance everything else in my life, but put me in front of a computer with all these tabs and moving parts, and I'm on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the contest, you guys, go to Instagram and go and like my page, Soul Wanderings 111, and like it, and then comment on the latest post that has a picture of Natalie Peace. Do that, and then email me at connect@soulwanderings.com.
Did you want their address, or you just want them to email you? What do you want them to say in the email?
Just that they did it. But
yeah,
because people need to give me their address if they didn't win.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the first 3 people. Oh, yeah, see, Chanel? She own it. Thanks, girl.
Do you have 3 now?
My new producer is kind of a baddie.
She's like rocking it.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's good. So that's how you do it. So far, I've had people do part of it, not all of it. So finish the tasks and you will win the prize.
3 tasks.
Yeah. Like my Soul Wanderings page, Soul Wanderings 111.
So directions are an interesting thing. Sometimes people are like, what? And then thinking, and then just like, okay.
It's just 3 things. Like the page, comment on Natalie's face, email me, connect@soulwanderings.com. Yes, I'm getting in the chat room. Soul Wanderings 111 on Instagram. Like it. Comment on the latest post with Natalie Peace face. And then email me, connect@soulwanderings.com, telling me that you did that. The first 3 people win the prize. All right, we're going to move on. If you missed it, I'm sorry.
Next time, I'm sure you'll do this stuff again.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing giveaways all year. I told them that last week. I'm going to be doing giveaways and little mini videos that will be shared. Like, did you guys like learning more about the stones tonight? Because that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing. Not just stones.
Give us an idea, then we'll do a little mini video just at Vibes, and we'll just do some on the fly.
Yeah, Natalie and I have already talked about it. She's a willing participant.
Yeah. Give me an opportunity to talk about something. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So tonight, our topic of conversation is higher consciousness. You know, that kind of is intimidating and scary for a lot of people. You talk about higher consciousness, but they aren't aware that in their daily actions and choices that they're making, they're already working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if we took and we said awareness versus consciousness?
Ooh.
And we said I wanted you to consider how aware you are, and you just wanted to increase the frequency or the level of awareness within your own life. Now, we're not trying to get to walk on water. That is not what this is about. Or to, turn, what do they do? Turn alchemist, like you want to create gold. That's not what we're really after. Mm-hmm. Although those are aspects and stories that are told about higher consciousness, is the ability to change things in form or to have a mystical experience, or you don't have to go and get a spiritual guru, and you do not have to go to the wilds of, South America and ingest tea that makes you fly.
You don't have to, but
Those are aspects of it. That's not my forte, though. Although I can say I went for 10 days and didn't talk to another human.
you did do that.
That was definitely quite the profound entrance into a different level of consciousness, for sure.
I think I could be quiet that long. I don't know if I'd want to be quiet that long. I'm sure my partner would be like, there's no way in hell she could be quiet that long, because I'm always like, this is this and that is that and blah, 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 blah.
Well, right. I didn't know that either, because I'm very extroverted, and where I was in my life at the time, I'm definitely a social person. And there were parts of that were being around people and not connecting like I did. It was really something I never even worried about. I just didn't even question it when it obviously was like in my thing to just do. It was like gonna happen on my life path. Because as soon as I heard about it, I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, how cool.
It was a lot to give up communication with the outside world, though. That was significant to me. It was very noisy in my head. It wasn't like being all quiet. It was definitely noisy on the inside of myself.
That's the thing, though, right? When we commit to being quiet, like verbally or outwardly, everything goes inward, or the inward gets louder.
So it was definitely like that for me. That was a big part of waking up, if we want to call it that.
Yeah.
There's language that's involved with the higher consciousness journey. Like it's almost, so if it's new, or even if it's older, it's like vocabulary. So with any edge thing that you're learning about, there's always some vocabulary that's involved. We go back to our elementary and they take you through vocabulary. Well, with any subject, vocabulary is important too. I remember when I started, I've always studied some sort, always. I remember when I was 16, given the book Illusions by Richard Bach. That one.
You still carry that one around with you.
Yeah, that one little book was profound and really shifted. And it was like this guiding principle in my life in particular. So that was a kind of that's not foreign to me from about that age going on. But then when I started walking in the new age world, that was different language too. I was like, what? All these people seem to know more than me.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
That's the language, though. I mean, we're surrounded by people who speak that language. I understand it. I'm not that person.
So I was like, sometimes you can get into, we wander around, like you go to crystal shops, or you
Things
healers
become very woo-woo.
They become very woo.
I believe that a lot of people feel like that's the way I would be if they hadn't met me and knowing just the information about me, that I would be like, welcome, brothers and sisters. No.
It is not. You could put that. No, you couldn't.
No.
You just don't.
No.
So we may deal in the woo, which is the energy of
I
it
dance
all,
in the woo.
right? The woo just is. It just is everything's energy. So it's about the awareness that everything's energy. And are you aware as an individual what you are doing with your energy? Or are you kind of walking around not very conscious of what you do with your energy and how you affect the world?
And I feel like a lot of humans are that way. Yes.
Right.
Very unaware.
Very unaware. So when we replace consciousness with higher awareness, it does take a level of responsibility to raise your consciousness, and you've got to be really deeply accountable for your own life. And there's verbiage like, you're the creator. You create your own world. You create what's happening. It's only through your perspective that you interpret the world. And the way you see the world is an interpretation based on your belief system's perspective, things that you just hold within your mind space, your opinions, those types of things affect. So all of these are definitely aspects of the practical application of it, which means there part of the unwinding that happens. Well, you want to enter into this path, and then you want to raise your awareness, and then there's some unwinding. Or if you want to have things change from the way that they're normally going, or if you don't like the way something's happening. So examine your life and think about it this way. Where is the turbulence within your life? What trips you up? What disrupts your flow? And what is something you can do to not have those things happen? We are very much creatures of habit, and we definitely have habits and behavioral patterns. So one thing that's required is understanding your own behavior. So in many ways, for a while, you have to learn how to watch yourself, become the observer of yourself, of your patterns. Also an enlistment of other people that maybe are very good objective sounding boards for you, people that can give you honest feedback to kind of help that.
I've appreciated that. That has been one of the biggest things for me. And then not taking it personal.
Right? Oh, the 4 Agreements. We can talk about the 4 Agreements is a great book that 4 simple agreements that, it's a pretty well-known book that a lot of people read on their journey of self-discovery or self-improvement. That's talking about one of the agreements is don't take anything personal. Yeah. Understanding that it's not about you, but they're talking about me. You're like, no, really, they're not. They're talking about themselves.
Great book. We could have a show all about the 4 Agreements.
That'd be a great show to have. Right. So it feels like I don't know even how to bring this big consciousness picture into like practical. I understand the practical application of it and how it's applied, but it's a really big, broad thing because everybody has their individual way of doing things. So maybe it's like, are there questions out there? Do your listeners have questions?
I don't have any questions being asked right now, but if you guys do have questions, as I've always said, go ahead and join one of the chat rooms on Facebook, YouTube, or kgradb.com and type them in caps, and then we'll be able to answer those questions there. What makes someone, that's really not a good way to put it, but for lack of better words, what makes someone feel drawn to even knowing more about consciousness or a higher consciousness? Like, if that's something that's coming into their awareness, where would they even begin to take some steps if they were working through this on their own?
Well, so it's interesting. A couple things pop. So using my intuition like I tend to, a lot of times a break in your consciousness happens because something traumatic or some difficult life experience cracks you open. So it's like a Humpty Dumpty experience.
That's exactly how it happened for me.
Yeah. And in many ways for me too.
Yeah.
The big shift life, something happens in your life and then you're just like, I know I just can't live this way anymore. There's so many ways. Any book is a book of Zen. So books are a powerful bringer of knowledge. So there are, pick up a book sometimes. So let's talk about that. We'll just talk a practical way.
Okay.
So if you are in your search and you're like, where do I begin? Go to your local bookstore and wander around the bookstore, but just letting yourself be guided versus thinking it. And see what draws you. Is there a book that draws you? And it could be any book. It's been fascinating. I just recently in the last couple months, I just had this kind of pull to read a novel. So I do a lot of reading on other things, things that are like spiritual learning or those types of books. I just wanted to read a novel. So I had these 2 books that were sitting on my shelf that were older books. Some period, several, like a couple years ago, I just wanted to buy older books. Just one those hardbound books that are older that you just don't.
That
So I had,
smell good.
yes, that smell like something old that has some wisdom. So I had a couple of books
That I paint art, do art journaling in.
right?
Yeah.
So one of the books was that had a story about Niccolo Machiavelli. And so it's very so it was a story about him, and he was a character in this novel, which is an interesting book right now to read. If anyone's familiar with him, he wrote the book called The Prince, and he was an ambassador of sorts. So he was always engaged with political parties and wars and things. So I thought that was a fascinating book to read right now when we have political things, pretty significant political things happening.
Pretty significant, yes.
Yes. And then the next book that I'm reading, I'm currently reading it. It's called A Razor's Edge. These books were written in the 50s, and just a story. It's a story. And this particular one is about someone that was in World War I as a pilot. And he just wants to, he's a young man that had a powerful experience and was saved by, and saw someone, also another fellow pilot, young man, killed. And then he's just like, it really shifted him. And so he says, I just want a loaf. I just want to, and it's contrasted against people that want the high life, and it's set in Paris and they want to just do spend money and buy good clothes. And here he's like, I just want to like experience life, which is a good analogy for a consciousness journey.
Isn't that also experiencing life though?
What the
Both.
Either one.
Well, as humans, we're meant to come and experience life as a human, and part of that is
maybe it means
entire spectrum of things, right?
Right. So maybe you get to have lots of money and be a millionaire and expend and explore. Or maybe you're homeless and you're experiencing consciousness that way. Or maybe you're just learning what
in the middle.
It's like, what is it?
I feel like I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
I like being in the middle though.
Me too.
It's like an EJ sandwich.
Yeah. So it's like life. This life, it doesn't. So oftentimes consciousness isn't this. For some people, it tends to be like, I want to ride the ethers, and I want to get out there, and I want to have an out of body experience, or I want to see spirits, or I want to hear other dimensions talk to me. Or with me personally, it's like, I just want to connect with people and see people heal and move through and let people know they don't have to live with trauma. You don't have to be traumatized. You don't have to have anxiety. Those types of things.
But we do get to experience those as humans.
We do.
That's just part of the gig. That's what we signed up for.
Right. So then that's consciousness too, right? So maybe we're all conscious.
Here we go in this beautiful loop. I just Googled higher consciousness definition out of curiosity. It says higher consciousness is the consciousness of a god or the part of the human mind that is capable of transcending animal instincts.
Animal instinct.
According to Wikipedia.
The consciousness of a god.
Yeah, how did that definition resonate with you?
Well, it resonates well because we're all God.
Yeah.
We're all God. We're all the one. We're all one. This is language that's often used in we're all one. So you're over there, me, dressed as you, over there being you, but you're me.
Right.
We're all part of the same.
We're all connected.
We're all connected.
That's the thing, is somehow along the way, we Well, we come in not understanding that or knowing that concept, right? We come into the human experience that way,
Mhm.
but then somehow along the way, we find a lot of us find that to be true. And for those who don't, which I'm not in that space, I haven't been in that space for I don't know how long, I wonder how existing feels.
Separateness,
But if
lonely.
they are understanding that there's a difference, not that we're better or they're worse. That's
No.
not what I'm saying at all.
Mm-mm.
But how do we lose that connection along the way is what I'm trying to say. How do we forget that we are all connected? How do we remember that we are meant to be and are connected to one another, and that our purpose is not to fight against each other the way that we do, but to come together in peace and the highest vibration of love? How do we lose our way along the way? Like, how does that even become a thing when that is like the ultimate feeling and goal for our human experience?
One of my favorite teachers to listen to is Alan Watson. He was alive in the 50s and 60s, did a lot of lecturing. I recently learned he died in like 1972. So there's a lot of YouTube. Love YouTube because there's so much that's available.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was often fond of saying, we're God playing hide and seek. How far away from ourselves can we get? How much can we forget we're God? And so that's one of the natures of things with that perspective of we come here because it's a hide and seek game. It's the drama of it all. If we're just in spirit, nirvana can be kind of boring. It's just kind of boring. You know, we're all in love. It's all good.
Do you feel like some of us who are having this human experience are meant to stay on autopilot the entire time?
Yeah,
That's just part of their purpose is
I think it's just part of it. So, one of the answers I would say that a movie is not just about the stars of the show. Like you have extras and background, and so I would imagine that's part of it.
yeah.
I cannot even pretend to understand the whole God level view.
Right.
Why it's all there's
Excuse
like
me.
well over 7 billion people on this planet. That's a lot. It's a lot of humans
That's
running
a lot
around.
of humans.
A lot of I can't even comprehend. Like to put all 7 billion humans and to picture that. That's just profound to picture all that. And we're all here doing this human thing. So they're on some cosmic level, there's reasons for, or it's a ladder type system and people are on the first rung or second rung or third rung or fifth rung. And maybe that's part of that too, is like as you advance up the rungs of a ladder, then you come back and a different experience or deeper learning. It's often said by different spiritual teachers that it's an expansion. God is, I had this thought the other day. When you practice consciousness, then you go, and at least for me, there's times where I just get inspiration. And so there was this inspiration that was like, I think God is greedy too. I always want expansion. Give me more. Give me more. What's this expansion? Wouldn't expansion be more? More insight, more this we're always seeking to learn more beyond ourselves. So there's part of that too that is within us. The nature of humans is to push the boundaries all the time. That's on the macro level. And then we come down to the micro level, to the individual human, and it's within your own nature. But then in my learnings about human design, which is a way of taking and looking at it through a mechanical lens, that every different aspects, so we can go and not be in our capital S self, like the God self, because we're trapped in the human conditioning. And so when we're trapped in our not self, that's another way of forgetting of our aspect. So then that gets like even into the social level where we don't necessarily have a consciousness school. It's not incorporated in our schooling system. So if you don't get exposed to it per se, like through your parents or how did you get exposed to consciousness?
Trauma.
That
for sure.
broke you open,
It
and
broke me open.
then you just, after that trauma, you're like, now you see the world different.
Absolutely.
And was it a sense of extreme separation to then come back to oneness, or was it a knowing of oneness to then figure out the separation?
I think I ignored all of my intuition and signs before the trauma.
Oh.
And after the trauma, it was a feeling of coming home, if you will.
Sure.
Of stepping into and onto a path of who I was meant to be instead of ignoring it.
So then it was so in your face.
It was in my face constantly.
Okay, you have a job to do, and so no more loafing.
And I ignored and I ignored and I ignored because it was going to be hard, and I don't want to deal with it.
You're going to have to let a bunch of baggage go.
Well, I feel like a lot of my life, I mean, we've talked about my life here and there on the show without really getting into it. There were handfuls of moments of really severe trauma, and not just trauma, but like severe trauma. And I have come to know and as my truth that what I went through was meant for me to live my truth. I wouldn't have done it any other way. I really don't believe I would have. I could have made different choices that would have led me a completely different direction into a very low vibration, a negative environment. And I did, don't get me wrong, back and forth always. But, once you made up your mind, it's like you were talking about being selfish, like we just want it all. Like, my addiction and my selfishness literally came from other people.
Like an initiation where you graduate from childhood into adulthood by a profound and very difficult experience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so we look that even in some spiritual graduation that said, can you hold that light, and can you see that there's light, and can you go through a tunnel of darkness and still understand and keep your light? Yeah. And so there's those dark times, the dark night of the soul, where you're really steeped in some really difficult times, and can you understand that this is an experience, this is a moment in time, or do you forget that? And you get so locked in it that you think that's permanent.
I think without the knowing at the time, I thought it was permanent.
Sure. So many people out there feel like they're trapped.
Yeah.
They're trapped. I was talking with a client the other day, and she had described her room. She says, I feel like I'm in a padded room, and there's no lock. Like, she's in a padded room. So she's locked into a padded room. And I said, well, then your assignment is to redesign your room.
Yeah, see? You're giving her power back.
Well, yeah, I'm reminding her that, reminding her that she trapped herself. I'm like, that's the room of your design. So you have the power to redesign the room.
Right. It's always a choice. It always comes down to a choice.
Yes.
Like in my life, I could have decided that doing this certain thing was going to be comforting and easy for me. But I didn't. I chose that I wanted a different way. And when I did, looking back, I think, wow, that was actually a lot harder than my life is now.
That's what I say
When
too.
I thought it was just going to be too hard to get out of it, retrospect, you like, wow, my life was like, a lot of that was, wow, I could have done things a lot different. That a lot of that was in my control, and I made things harder than they needed to be. And now with the awareness that I have, I'm able to navigate through those challenging situations a lot more smoothly. I think I brought that up earlier. And it is so much easier now getting through the heavier things, right? Because we still have to go through them.
Mhm.
It's just how we choose to go through them.
Mhm.
Where before I'd make much different choices than I do now. And thank goodness for that, because now I have the contrast. Like,
Right.
I don't have to wonder, what if I did it this way? Will it work?
Right.
No, dumbass, that didn't work. Don't do that again.
Well, yeah, knowing you and your design, it was like you're designed to do that. You plow through life and learn what doesn't work, and then
Yeah.
you're a source of wisdom by saying, just by the way, I've done things like that before and that doesn't really work out. So it's a perspective that you bring to life.
She talks about my human design.
Yeah, that was.
She knows my human design.
Yeah. Understanding that. So along those lines, looping back to the part where you said, what do people do?
Yeah.
So remember, we cannot solve the problem with the mind that created it.
Exactly.
So reaching higher means stretching yourself. We must be stretched to grow. And so that sometimes it means if you've been ignoring that intuitive impulse that says, maybe I should go through therapy, or I should go
it. Don't ignore
through,
it.
right? I should. So most of the time you already know what you need to do to grow, and you've been resisting it.
You ignore your
You're
little
ignoring
inner
it.
voice.
Just like, oh, you argue against it. You lay there at night justifying your current lifestyle versus like stepping into. So many times it's been said, we are often afraid of our greatness, more fearful of our greatness. And so it can be pretty intimidating to go, oh, I'm going to blow myself up.
Right.
Stepping into that power.
That's the thing, Natalie. Even though I've come as far as I have come, that's still scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that I'm not the only one.
No, I had that.
A lot of us go through some big things and we know what we're capable of, but we're still terrified of it.
Yeah, in some ways.
Yeah.
And so I think in many parts there's a trust that life is going to take you where it wants you to go anyway.
Yeah,
surrender, because
does.
we're just like a little like a piece on the sea that's just floating, or we're a leaf that's dropped into the river that's getting carried to wherever the river's going. So often it's like that. So surrendering is a big aspect of consciousness.
Yes, huge.
Surrendering, it's
Letting
like trust
go.
fall with the universe.
And I refer, and a lot of people do, and I'm sure I picked this along the way in one of my many teachings, learnings, my educations.
Right. It's a spiritual education.
The backpack that we carry around, and we just keep adding all these heavy things in it, and we're like, oh, it's so heavy. I have to carry this with me every day. You don't. Take the backpack off and unzipper that bad boy and take some of that stuff out of there and throw it away, because you don't have to.
Right. So how long?
It doesn't have to be hard.
It does not have to be hard. And people are like, I don't know how to not be hard. Well, that makes sense. You have to actually practice different.
Right. And that's part of the healing journey too, is when you believe that everything is so hard.
Oh yeah, that's a belief.
Yeah.
So you got to drop that belief. It doesn't have to be hard. Are you like replace it's so hard with it doesn't have to be hard?
Or the stories you tell yourself.
Mm-hmm. We're so good at telling
they're
stories.
So good. They're so good. And you can tell yourself whatever you want. But what's real?
None of it.
None of it.
It's all illusion.
Does any of it matter?
Not really.
No, it doesn't matter. So
If you
stop
don't
spending
mind,
your
it doesn't matter, right? So if you have no mind,
yeah.
if you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing is we spend so much time and energy in creating these stories.
Oh, but it does happen. So I generally spend Wednesdays with my little nephew, and he's 4. And so today,
He's so cute.
he's so cute. And so I have a parrot, and today he was feeding pieces of toast to my parrot, and she bit his finger. And birds bite hard. So his little finger, he was and he cried and cried. And then I watched him. So I practice observing in my life. I do that a lot. So I was watching him. And what I was noticing was he was so focused on the pain. And in spite of we're trying to distract him, and like he was like intensely focused on the pain, and he's like, it just hurts so very, 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 very bad. And I was realizing he just was hyper focused on the pain, and sometimes that's how we are, and breaking free of that. So eventually we got him to eat mangoes and watch Clifford the Big Red Dog. So it's a little distraction. And sometimes it's as simple as that for ourselves.
Yes.
Can you put yourself in a different frame of mind? Can you give yourself something pleasurable in a place that's painful and bring that about? It's a practical walk. It's really, really simple. Almost too simple.
Right.
It's that simple.
And again, back to the humans complicating everything. We do it.
Good
Winner, winner. We do that. We do that.
We do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting how good we are at overcomplicating things. And to be honest, the people who are in those spaces, like where I run into them in the shop, or listeners who will email me and ask me questions, and I can give them such a straight, simple answer. And they're like, huh? But to me, I'm like, what do you mean, huh? How do you not understand what I just said? You're trying too hard. You're thinking too hard. You're holding on to your story too hard. Whatever it is, and there's just no grasp of what is happening. And I remember being there, and I don't think that like anything that you will say or I will say is going to shake someone completely loose. Like they'll go through their experience when they're meant to go through their experience to have them step into a new space. Like this conversation that we've been having may affect some people, and some people may be bored out of their minds because they're just like, what are these women talking about? They're crazy.
Right.
And that's okay too. The thing is, at the end of the day, you'll know when you know, and that's part of the process too. And we can talk about higher consciousness all we want, and some people won't understand it, and some people will like grasp onto it with their last breath, and it will stick with them, and they'll breathe in life again. You just never know when it comes into our awareness.
No.
Like there's no timeline for it.
One thing I can say is life is school, and our life does talk to us out loud. One thing to do is to listen to your life. All of this really does start if you're at the beginning. It doesn't even matter if you're at the beginning, intermediate, graduate level consciousness. Are you being the observer? Are you watching what's happening in your life? Are you paying attention? Are you picking up the little messages, the clues? It's like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Right. For everyone, it's like that. You're always, you for so many ways forgotten that you already know everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
in these ways. Never give up on yourself. Best thing I ever did was believe in me.
That's a great quote.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. I surround myself with positive affirmations is something that's helped me because I haven't always known those positive things, but I always wanted to know them.
Yeah.
And so in so many ways I was working on programming. I find myself saying these days, if I have to tell myself a story, which I'm going to do anyway, I might as well tell the pleasant one or an empowered one.
Right?
We all tell ourselves stories.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to change the story.
I'm working on changing a specific story that has been reoccurring in my life, like most of my life. And I feel like I've gone back to the moment that untruth was told to me, where I picked it up and held on to it for dear life, like it was my last dying breath. And if I let go of it, I would be done. You know, that kind of story.
Yes.
That you keep with you your whole entire life.
You're like,
yeah, I'm so ready to rewrite that story. And so many times I feel like you brought up the positive affirmations. I feel like I've done that, telling Blue in the face. I don't know how you work with positive affirmations, but for me, repeating a certain phrase or wording in my head until I believe it to be true, because I don't feel like they work without the belief that they're true.
Mm-hmm.
You can say it, but if it has no power behind it, it doesn't really matter what you're saying, in my opinion.
Your inside needs to match the outside.
Right. The thing is, for me and this story is I want to believe it's true with all of my heart. And something inside of me, I can't figure out where, is blocked me. So my heart feels like it's true. Like this will be, or is, I actually acted as it's already occurred, is happening. I'm not having the results I've had with other stories that I've shifted. And I've really work with me on that. I'm starting to stutter because I'm at a loss for words how this works.
So with that kind of where you're okay, so my intuition says there is radical acceptance. So sometimes we so deeply accept that it unfolded exactly as it needed to, even if we don't understand why. And sometimes that can be with trauma that you're like, I cannot ever accept that thing could ever happen. So a lot of times trauma could say there's such a deep judgment on a thing happening, whatever that is, and especially for the really traumatic experiences. And so there can be such a deep judgment against it that say that can't in any realm be okay. So if we shift that with a radical acceptance that says the way that it unfolded is radically okay. Radical acceptance, not even trying to rescript it, just saying it happened. And I can't understand why and how that's for me, but I'm going to level it up. I'm going to give that up to the higher aspect and say, okay, that happened. So one trick is radical acceptance of no longer denying or no longer believing that it's not okay. On some realm, it works out. Does that make sense? Does that help?
I hear what you're saying, and I feel like I have done that work. There's something, I don't know, maybe it's just something deeper. I'm just trying not to give away too much because it is such a personal thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that might be something we have to talk about off air, but the fact of the matter is I talk about everything from my experience. What I believe is everything is a choice, and when we give energy to the choice, it breathes life into it, whether it's true or not, whether it's right or wrong, whatever that is. And I just am not pinpointing the place where I'm breathing life into this particular experience.
Okay, well,
Does that make sense?
it makes sense. So I'm going to just deal with it in a sense that says, okay, so everything is choice, but everything isn't consciously chosen.
Yeah.
So everything is not at a conscious level of choosing.
Right. And I understand that. So how do I tap into the unconscious and break that belief?
So it's interesting.
Or do I not even?
Sometimes we can't break into the subconscious or the unconscious.
Even though you're aware that it's there, that it's happening.
Yes. So in some ways, it's like, so if we go to the river, like literally to a river where water is flowing, which is like the river of life, we don't direct the water. It's being directed. So us as humans, we're being directed. We're standing on the moving sidewalk of life, and we're not as in control as we would want to be. So in some aspects, there's that resistance to say, I can control everything. You can't. We can't. It's not the way it works. The universe pushes us around just like if we were in the ocean and we're being rocked by. We are an aspect of this. We are part of the environment that we're in, and the environment affects us. Other people affect us. So it's sometimes like that, where we're trying to drive the train and we are simply a passenger so often in our life on the train, the moving sidewalk. We're just moving through life. And there's part of that with life experiences, that it's not always a conscious
It just
choice.
is what it is.
It is. See, it is.
And that's my favorite quote.
What it
but
is.
That just occurred to me.
You had,
this
see?
is one of those moments. It just is what it is.
And you drop solidly into that and understand that it is.
Oh, and see, I feel like I've done that.
So let's talk about that for work, because a lot of times I'll hear that I've done the work. Well, if it's bubbling up, there's just a little more work. It's just
apparently so
a little more work. It's just another layer, because with something so deep, especially significant events in our life, if we go through a forgiveness process, a healing process, that's a really deep thing. You can't do that all at once. It's like, digging a deep hole in the backyard. It's going to take a while. Or filling in a deep hole. It's going to take a while. So just understanding that too, that there's layers and layers and layers and layers. And so a lot of times we can get really impatient. I've done my work. I ought to be done with this. And we're like, if you were done with it, you wouldn't remember it anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I've watched and worked with people when I'm like, hey, how was that thing? And they're like, what thing? I'm like, good. It's done.
It's
forgiven.
Done. You're like, what are you talking about? Okay.
Right?
It's all over with then, apparently.
So often people will get frustrated with themselves. I've worked on this for so many years. And maybe it's at the bottom of your backpack.
Yeah. I mean, it's been literally a lifetime.
Oh, sure.
As far as I can remember.
And so many people that are listening have had those experiences too.
And that's why I want to share. I don't want to share the details thereof. It's so personal, but I love being authentic and sharing those things, because I know I'm not the only one.
Oh, right. And in my life too, sometimes we get healed even without trying to focus on a particular event. And so sometimes the healing comes with embodying certain consciousness principles. Like I know I worked personally with that statement, it is what it is. Because there was a part of my life after a significant loss where I said that often, but I didn't feel it like through all of my cellular structure. Yeah. I would say it and it felt more in my head than like all embodied. Like, oh, you know what? I can breathe, and every part of me understands that it is what it is. It really is that.
Oh, I don't want it to be what it is in this
Oh,
situation.
see there. Right.
I
And that's the
don't.
resistance where you don't want it to be what it is. You're like, I don't want it. And that's an uncovering of the belief that says, but I do believe that it should not be what it is.
Mhm.
And that's a part that's the uncovering the resistance. So in some ways, I'm watching you over there, and you're letting you and your intuition have been partnered for quite a while now in your life. You work collaboratively through your life. And so here you are, like just letting your intuition's guiding you, and you're like, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear what you're saying. La, 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 la. And then,
Why am I so good at listening to it for other people?
well, it's always easier.
I mean, I'm always giving messages to other people.
It's always so. There is like the good book, my Messiah's Handbook says that we teach best what we most need to learn.
Yeah. And isn't that the truth?
And so that's just often the way that it plays out in this realm, is that we, especially if you're born to be a teacher, you're teaching others, and then the embodying of it. You want to do it through them, but then the internalization of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really is a thing. I just got done saying how easy it is when you don't resist, and I don't feel like I'm resisting, and it's still challenging. But I know once I get through whatever that block is,
Oh yeah.
that I'm gonna look back and be like, see, told you you could do it, you're a rock star. But until then, I'm becoming, after years of working through this experience, it can be frustrating.
Right. But
It
if we
can
wanted an
be.
easy road, we wouldn't come to this space time.
No.
For sure.
No.
Like, why did you come to planet Earth? Oh, because I like it.
Because it'll be fun, they said.
It's dramatic and
Be
quite
in a
something.
meat suit and carry it around with you and have all of these human experiences. It's going to be a blast.
Yes, it'd be fun, they said.
They said. Well. Okay. Honestly, though, there are a lot of great moments of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And it is all about balance, right? We can't have the good without the not so good. If it was a party the whole time, more of us would have signed up for this. I think they convinced me it was going to be a party. So I was like, pick me. And then when I got here, I found out it wasn't. And I was like,
You're like, oh, you did a sales job on me. I wouldn't be anywhere without a lot of my readings. I read a lot of different things and listen to a lot of spiritual teachings and a wide range. For me, that's attractive to me, to like a whole wide range, and definitely about like there's a simple book, As a Man Thinketh, that's it's written in the early 1900s by James Allen, that says, as we think, we create the world. You know, what your thoughts do matter. Mm-hmm. And so cleaning up the thought process. But in no way do I want to make this seem like it is simple when applied. So then back to what I wanted to talk about was nothing, it has to be applied even in this situation. You've got this concept that says, simple statement, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But when you apply it, you then start to see the resistance to that universal truth. So it's like, that's the application part. You have to take this universal truth that says it is what it is, and then you put it into play in your life, and then it's almost like a lens or a key. Yeah. Definitely like that, like a magnifying lens. Oh, I see this more clearly, or a key to the door. So it's like that, practically applied.
It is. Oh my gosh. See, and all the time I thought, I learned so much from Natalie. What else could I learn? But I learned some more from Natalie. Always constantly learning from you. You're such a great teacher. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you have probably been on my show more times than anyone else. Besides Misty, I think Misty's been on here quite a bit too.
It's so much fun.
It is so much fun.
I could do it very regularly.
Well, you know, you keep getting asked to be here. So.
Yes. I'm delighted with every invitation.
Before we close, because we are running short on time, I just want to share the winners of the contest or drawing or whatever we did. We did a thing. We did a giveaway. So it looks like Ronald, of course, we knew that was going to happen. Good job, Ronald. And then Macy and Rob.
Woohoo!
And so I have all of their information here. Thank you for all of the support. And you guys are going to love your crystals because they're magical and because I put Reiki in them and all of my love. That makes them even more special. And they're from my collection. So
Yes.
they're good. How can people get in touch with you if they were interested in? You do phone appointments.
I do phone appointments.
Yep. If
So
you're
I
not
do,
in the area, or
Right.
if you are in the area of Ogden, Utah, how could they reach you?
So they can always reach me at my email, which is peaceofmind at Q, that's the letter Q.com.
And peace is,
Like peace, what we want in our heart, not a piece of my mind.
yeah,
Peace in your heart.
like
not-
Natalie's last name.
Yes. Peace of mind. So it's like my last name, peace of mind. And I don't know if you want to put the phone number in the link or you want me to just
No, we don't
say it.
have time for that.
So you can text me or call me at 801-726-4619. Or they can always call me at Vibes and we can get connected that way.
Yep, we can do that.
And I'm on
Definitely.
Facebook.
Yay, awesome. And time is over just like that, as
Ah.
always.
How fun.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. It's been so much fun. I really enjoy my time with all of you and Natalie, of course. You're amazing. I just love it when you come to visit us. Next week, everyone stay close to KGRA. There's a lot of great shows with great guests lined up. If you're interested in knowing who I have lined up, follow me on social. You can connect to all of those if you go to soulwanderings.com. Next week, we'll have Walter Zajac. I can't even say his last name, but he's going to talk about his personal experiences about beyond deja vu. He's a medium and he has a lot of things going on. You guys are going to adore him. He's got great energy. But until then, I've got to let you go. We'll see you all next week. Be good to yourself and each other. Good night.